Kawasaki Ultra 250X JetSki. This thing had a seized engine when I got it. I found that the pistons were seized in the cylinders caused by water sitting in the cylinders for an extended period of time. The bottom end of this engine was still in excellent condition, and all I did was clean the parts before reassembling it. Checking the piston to cylinder wall clearance to make sure it is okay. Checking the ring gap to make sure it's within spec. Putting the piston rings onto the pistons and making sure that the ring gaps are aligned to the correct position, and putting some oil on them as well. Slipping the cylinder onto the pistons, and I had to look this one up in the manual to see how you're supposed to do it, and this is how you're supposed to do it on this particular engine, to slip the cylinder onto the top of the pistons.
Now the reason that's so difficult to get the cylinder on is because getting it to go straight down onto the block was the part that was holding me up. Squishing the rings is really not that tough when you know how to do it. Do the center ones first and the outside ones on these. But my struggle was getting this to come down nice and even on both sides. And once I got that, then it went together pretty easily, but turns over nice and smooth. Just doing my timing right now. Spot on, perfect. I'm pretty happy about that. I was kind of like, because you know, like when I'm bolting this down, like this chain on this one is trying to like move all over.
Oh yeah, mine too, I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna go home, actually.
Okay.
And tonight I'm getting rid of a 750 SS.
Oh.
650
Ooh, yeah, even better. The engine, it is ready to go back in the hull. Put the rest of this engine together off camera. I did remember to put a new oil filter on it before I put the intake manifold in the way, so that was good. I also remembered to put oil in the ski, so hopefully we were ready to go. Expecting a lot of smoke because there's a lot of oil in the cylinders, and who knows what other kind of gunk and junk in the exhaust system.
No drama for the first startup, so I'm going to run this thing on the hose. This is making some noise from the jet pump unit itself, so any of the clunking that you are hearing is from the jet pump and not the engine.
Running nice and smooth. She sounds pretty good. The pump is chattering a bit. It just has to do with how crusty and nasty it is.
Taking it out for the first test ride here. We'll be running the helicopter camera that I got from Joel Arsenault. So thanks Joel for the camera mount. This thing's pretty cool. And I'm not going to be showing the full warm up of the ski. This is kind of a break-in run for it because it does have brand new pistons and rings, and we want to get those rings to seat properly. I will be trying to keep it under half throttle, although we'll be pushing it as far as I can within that parameter. This is my first ride on an Ultra 250, also my first ride of the year 2021. I will say I am a little bit rusty, but the ski does perform quite well, even though I'm only going up to half throttle. In the corners that I'm losing a lot of momentum because I'm not willing to squeeze it to full throttle. So I'm not getting the full torque and horsepower that would be needed to really drive through the corners. It has great response off the bottom end. Seems like there's absolutely no lag on this supercharger system. It ran flawlessly during this break-in period for it, so I'm very pleased about that. It is kind of a choppy day out here, and this Ultra hull is handling this chop with absolutely no problem at all. And that's kind of the big deal with these Ultra hulls, is they're supposed to be able to handle the waves and the chop a lot better than any of the other hulls available on the market today. So they say it's kind of the best rough water hull, if you will. This is my first supercharged Kawasaki, so I'm really excited to see how it stacks up against other supercharged skis that we have tested in the past on our test track. All in all, I think this first ride went quite well, so I'm really looking forward to the next time I have this thing out, when I can really give it the full throttle and really drop the hammer on this thing and see what it can really do. Josh here, and today I'm going to be hot lapping the Kawasaki Ultra 250X, and I'll be really interested to see how the Kawasaki does on our test tracks. After this hot lap, I'm going to show you guys around and kind of explain the track a little bit. Lap time I was able to run on the Kawasaki Ultra 250 today was a 38.58. That puts it just ahead of the GP 1300R and just slower than the FZR. If you do look through our list of lap times, you will see that the Ultra 250 is the slowest supercharged ski that we have run so far. And that definitely makes sense because the Ultra is not a buoy slasher or a course slaying machine. It's more of an open water, open ocean type of machine. On an endurance type race in the open water with lots of waves, the Ultra would do a lot better than probably all of our supercharged skis. That being said, you could set up an Ultra for more of a buoy course if you wanted to. The laps on it were very easy to do. It's very precise, very predictable handling, and it's comfortable and confidence inspiring. Everything worked out well. I never thought I was going to hit any of the danger logs. Able to put the ski exactly where I wanted to at all times. And you would think that that's just every ski and that's a normal handling characteristic, but I will tell you right now that it is not. Some of these skis, you don't really know where it's going to go. You're trying to tell it where to go, and it kind of picks where it wants to go. So a very confidence inspiring handling trait where it does exactly what you think it will do is kind of a big deal for us out here on the track, especially with the danger logs. And if you go off track, you're going to hit land. Depending on how fast you're going, you might be doing a front flip over the bars and knocking yourself out. It's a likable ski, but it just needs more horsepower. I guess we'll just have to wait for the right deal to come along on one of the 310Rs. But that'll do it for this one. See ya in the next video.